I'm not even a fan of this team, but if you were to ask me who I want to be in the playoffs the most in 2025, it's easily Buffalo. Like, honestly, the Buffalo Sabres for the past 13 seasons, they just remind me of that one Simpsons meme. Like, there are just some names you can say for the past 10 years of this franchise that invoke such either sadness or anger. Maybe it's even gotten to the point of apathy for a lot of fans, which if you're a sports franchise, that should be the one that scares you the most. Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Ryan O'Reilly, Linus Ullmark, Taylor Hall, remember that one, Brandon Montour, even Kyle Okposo. I'm sure Sabres fans are happy he got to win, but still, it's like, man, as soon as he leaves, he gets a cup, really? And that's before mentioning the absolute carousel of coaches they've had through there, and even the GMs to a certain extent. So I'm aware, and I totally understand, just by asking the question, is this finally the year where they break the playoff drought? A ton of Sabres fans are going to groan or roll their eyes and say, dude, let's not do this, come on. But they really spiced it up this offseason, and they did something, whether out of desperation or not, makes things super interesting for a team that wasn't far from the playoff picture. They were in the thick of it for most of the year. They brought back not only the last coach to take them to the playoffs, but also the greatest one in franchise history. Now, yes, bringing back a great coach from the past doesn't always work out, but hey, at the very least, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them. When you've been stuck in the mud for as long as Buffalo has, you gotta do something bold, something daring to try to get yourself out of it. I respect it. Going the safer route hasn't paid off for them. Trying something different with this core that's starting to bear fruit, but seems like it needs something to help push it over the edge, it seems like a good move to me. That being said, doesn't mean that move, as well as trading Matthew Savoy for some immediate help in Ryan McLeod, doesn't come off as a little bit of desperation moves to try to curry favor with the fans and try to do whatever they can to break out of this playoff drought, because it does. Kevin Adams and the gang have definitely got to be careful not to be too bold to where they put the team in a tough spot, but you can definitely see that they've got faith in this core of Dahlin, Power, Byram, Cousins, Tuck, Thompson, UPL, and a few other young guys as well, that they're just trying to supplement that core with pieces on and off the ice to help give them that extra jolt to help them make the playoffs. Now, they're going to need a lot to go right, especially in that gauntlet of an Atlantic Division, or even just what I think is going to be a dogfight of a wildcard race again if they want to make it to the dance. UPL's got to be a legit number one goalie like he was for a good chunk of last season. Dahlin's got to be a Roman Josi type number one defenseman. And continuing with the 2010s Nashville analogy, Byram and Power have to be like Ekholm and Ryan Ellis from those teams. And obviously the heart of your offense up front is going to be Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck, Dylan Cousins, even Paterka, I'd put him in there now too. But you also really need one of the young guys to really step up. I'm looking at Zach Benson, but it could also be McLeod. Probably should be, to be honest. I do wonder if a Noah Ostland or a Yuri Kulik bust the door now and in training camp to join the party maybe sooner than expected, similar to how Zach Benson did last year. If not though, guys like Jason Zucker, Jordan Greenway, and Beck Malenstein should provide enough offense in the middle six to keep this team's head above water in terms of producing offense throughout the lineup. You look at some of the teams that I think they're going to be competing with for one of those playoff spots, it's not going to be easy, but they've got a chance, and I don't think it's a stretch, even with what's happened in the past decade and a bit with this franchise, to see them squeak in as a 7 or 8 seed, probably as a wild card. And for the sake of the franchise and those fans who've stuck through them throughout all of this, I hope that ends up being the case and you guys get to see playoff hockey at KeyBank in April for the first time since 2011. That's nuts. Also, with Lindy Ruff coming back in, changing the culture, trying to move on from the past 13 years of Sabres hockey, I think you should go in there and you should put the C on either Dahlin or Tuck. New coach, new culture, new captain, new playoffs. That's the message I'm trying to be sending. If you're an NFL fan, think of the Detroit Lions, the new Detroit Lions, how they were running with that all season, how well it worked out for them. Even if not a whole ton is different, establishing that it's a new culture, a new day can really change everything for a team and a franchise, even one that's done a whole lot of losing. Give me your thoughts on the Sabres this year. What do you think is the biggest key to them making the playoffs? For more content like this, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You're awesome.